about circles. So the stuff to start with is pretty straightforward, and most of which you already know, I would guess. But we do have some, couple little things in here we need to clean up. I shouldn't say clean up, but clarify would be a better word. Okay, so for instance, what's the center, Simon?
It's the exact point where the radius, all the radiuses meet.
All the what meet?
Radii.
Radii, right. Radius,
Yeah, sorry.
octopus, octopi,
Octopi.
school bus, school by,
Cacti.
cactus, cacti, Jesus, Jesus. Where all those things meet.
Yes.
Okay, anything else special about that center? Or anything else you could work into the definition, or do you think that, and this is for everybody, is there anything else that we need other than, say it again, the point where all the
Radii meet.
radii meet? Is there anything else? I like it. Notice circles have centers, not midpoints. Okay, that thing in the center is not a midpoint. And also the center is not part of the circle. You want to think about your circle as being a hula hoop. Okay, there's no dot floating in the middle of a hula hoop. What's that thing? So you used a term, which we haven't officially defined yet. So we're going to kind of go in a circle here and define that, which will then make your definition valid, which will make us good to go. Matt?
Is a radius like half of a diameter, which is the distance?
Oh, I see you're using a term we haven't done yet.
Which is a distance across a circle?
Which one is the distance across the circle?
The diameter.
So you want to go here first? Oh no, we don't do that yet. You want to go to here first.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt, what's a diameter?
It's the distance across a circle. Like, not the.
If that's what you want to use for the definition of a diameter, then we need to talk about the word chord. What's a chord?
Oh, I thought that said chord.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's a chord.
It's
Is that
chord,
like-
but we can pause it.
So what's the difference?
Well,
Julia?
I just for radius. It's like
Oh, you want to go back to radius?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
go.
just the length from the one of the sides from the triangle to the center of the triangle,
Circles.
or circle. Yeah.
So, so the side of a circle
From a point on the circle.
Ah, there you go.
Circle.
to the center. Okay, I like that.
Can you repeat it?
Okay. Yeah, the distance from any point on the circle to the center of the circle. So now your center definition is valid, Simon, because now we know what a radius / radii are. Okay. Matt, let's come back to you for diameter then.
Okay.
Now, what's a diameter?
Diameter is. It's like the distance across the circle from the center. I don't. It's like. How to explain?
Julie.
Distance from one point on the circle to that one is
Perfect. I like the way you did that because that'll lead us into a nice transition to the next one. Everybody get that? Distance between any 2 points on a circle that passes through the center of the circle. Julie, let me ask you, why did you throw that business about passing through the center into your definition?
because if we just go like kind of like nearer like towards one side, so that would be the diameter because like we're just going.
What would it be if it doesn't go through the center? Yeah, it's a chord, correct. Yeah. So if the segment connects 2 points on a circle and you stop there, then you get a chord. If those 2 points connect and pass through the center, you get a diameter. So now we have to go back to the golden retriever dog discussion. Are chords diameters?
No.
Some of them.
They can be.
Some of them are.
Are all chords diameters?
No.
No. Are all diameters chords?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We're all good on that?
Yeah.
Question, Tom?
What should we write for chord?
Julia, what should you write for chord?
Distance from one point to another, not points.
Technically, it's a segment, yeah, because we're talking about the geometry, well, we would get a distance, yeah. It's a segment connecting any 2 points on a circle.
Thanks.
So all diameters are chords, but not all chords are diameters. What's a circumference? Brandy?
The distance around the outside of the circle.
Round the outside, round the outside.
The distance of the outside.
That was an Eminem quote.
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't mocking you, I was just quoting Eminem.
Great song.
Okay, yeah, it's a good song.
It has a lot of bad words.
That's why there's an E on it. The distance around the outside of a circle.
The distance. Is that wrong?
I didn't say it was wrong, I'm just asking for clarification. Just because I ask you for clarification doesn't mean you're wrong, I'm just,
Yeah.
you gonna go with that?
Yeah.
Works for me. And then we're gonna talk a lot about pi. Not P-I-E, but P-I, Greek letter pi, symbol in parentheses. What's special about that number? Katie, what do you know about pi?
It's infinite.
What's your favorite, by the way? P-I-E.
Blueberry.
Blueberry, nice.
Pies for.
I love
Pi Day's coming up, by the way. Do we want to celebrate Pi Day?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
We bring in pie?
we'll take care of that.
Thank you, Tommy.
So, Katie wants blueberry.
Frank's
I
so
want pumpkin.
I want
Can if
pumpkin
you
or
want.
apple.
Yeah.
Or key lime.
Yeah. Anybody else interested in blueberry?
Banana's pretty good.
Are you kidding?
You know, pie to yourself. You handle that? Give me a pie and a
How is
fork
that
and get out of
possible?
my way.
Is it an accident?
I respect that. Okay, let's go back to, we'll make plans to celebrate Pi Day, which is, what's today, the 6th?
Yeah.
Seventh.
There's a six.
Today's the 6th?
Yes.
So tomorrow's the 7th, so it'll be a week from Tuesday. All right, we'll make some plans to celebrate.
What about
All right, Katie, back to you. I didn't even hear what you said. I was so focused on PIE that I didn't process what you said when we were talking about PI.
It's an infinite number,
Beautiful.
and it can be used to find the circumference and the why am I forgetting the word? What's the area of the circle?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said it's an infinite number. What do you mean by that?
It goes on forever, and it never repeats.
Beautiful. Goes on forever and never repeats. Do you know where it comes from?
No. Don't know.
Seems like a weird question, right?
Albert Einstein.
All right, so this is where things get weird. We use pi to do some calculations. So you're asking yourself, well, where did this number come from? Did somebody just make it up? Because there are numbers that we just make up. You know, like a meter, for instance. Where did a meter come from? We just made it up. Somebody said, let's make a meter this length and measure everything using that distance. Okay, same thing is true with a foot and an inch and everything else. Okay, so where did pi come from? So let's go back 300-400 years BC. They didn't really have paper, so they did like Euclid, who created geometry, did all his drawings in sand. But they started drawing pictures, and they noticed that if they took this circle and they measured the distance around the circle, they measured it a couple different ways using string or what, hair or whatever, horse hair, the tail hair from a horse, or I don't know, whatever. Anyways, and then they measured the distance across the circle, which we know is the diameter. They found that this number kept popping up over and over again. And so they changed the size of the circle. All right, Tom, you draw a really big circle, I'm gonna draw a really small circle, let's measure those two things. And this number started to pop up over and over again. Okay, so the number pi comes from taking the circumference of a circle and dividing it by the diameter. Now, we don't do that. We use that value to calculate those things. They measured them by hand and got this number. We take the number and calculate those other things. So it's still gonna, or I shouldn't say still, it's gonna bring about this other discussion that we've had like in last couple chapters about exact answers versus approximate answers, and we'll get into that later. Do you give your answer in terms of pi, or do you type it into your calculator using the pi button to get your answer? And we'll deal with that in a little bit. Circumference of a circle. Strangely enough, that's what I just said. 2 pi r. or d pi. What's d stand for?
Diameter.
Diameter, right? And since the diameter is twice the radius, we can just do a substitution. Doesn't matter which one you want to use. Whichever one you use, however, every one of these calculations should be started with a blank formula. So you will literally write out c equals 2 pi r. Then plug in what you know and solve for what you know. Exact answers will have pi's in them. Approximate answers, you're going to put in, or you're going to calculate an approximate value. Again, using the pi button, not 3.14. Get out your calculators, by the way. You should have them out already, but in case you don't, snag those puppies. Just want to make sure, first of all, that you know where the pi button is on your calculator. It's over on the right-hand side. Question?
Can you switch back to radian mode?
No, should be in degrees still. There's no reason to ever switch back to radians in this class. Save that for your upcoming, yes.
When will we need radian or whatever?
Probably junior year, no. Next year, maybe? No, you'll know. Okay, so, we'll start with something real simple. Circle has a circumference of 27, sorry, trouble with numbers. Find the exact radius. I'll give you 2 seconds to work on this and then I'll show you what the solution looks like, just so you understand what I'm looking for, so you don't have any problems.
Oh, it's-
Okay, so when I say start with a blank formula, I mean literally that. Start with a blank formula. Write down what you know for the formula. I'm going to use that one because I'm looking for the radius. Could I use the diameter formula? Yeah, but why would I when I'm looking for the radius? Plug in what you know. Well, what do I know? I know the circumference is 27. Solve for what you don't know. How do I get r by itself? Divide by
2 pi.
2 pi. Just for giggles, because I think it's the next click. Find the approximate answer there too. Sarah, what'd you get?
42.41.
Perfect. That's wrong. Why I said perfect is because I was hoping that somebody would do this. Thank you for helping out. Why did you get that incorrect answer? Or somebody else, what did she do wrong? Anna?
Because she didn't isolate the 2 times pi.
So I'm guessing you did 27 divided by 2 times pi.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you did that, what did the calculator do?
Multiplied pi times 2 and then.
No. Because remember, it does calculations from left to right. So it took 27, divided it by 2, got an answer of 13.5, then took 13.5 and multiplied it by pi. So you got to put that puppy in parentheses.
Okay.
Okay. And when you do, what do you get?
4.30.
It's 4.297.
So it's 4.30.
4.3b.
Let's make a weird 3 there. 4.3 what?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. Okay, good. Okay, because that's still a linear measurement. Okay, beautiful. So again, start with a blank formula every time so that I can see what you're working with there and see what you're plugging. Okay, and then we did 4.3, right? Is that what we said? Okay.
Wait, okay, so
We all know, you haven't looked at it yet.
Oh,
You see
this
green
is-
and you reacted. No, it's green. Okay, find the circumference. Yes? No. What kind of triangle is KLP?
It's a right triangle.
It's a right triangle.
you up a little bit.
That just ruined my day. While you're calculating, I'll talk a little bit about Pi Day. What I've done in the past, which has worked out pretty well, is I've offered to pick up pies. If you guys want them, I'm not gonna pay for it. So in other words, if you can find a bunch of people that have a similar interest, so let's say for instance, I personally really like peach pie, so if I could find 2, 3, 1, 6 other people that wanna go in on a pie with me, then I could order that peach pie. And so like for instance, who likes peach? Nobody?
I like peach.
Would you wanna order peach?
Or-
Well, you don't have to, I'm just, as an example. So 3 of us like peach pie, so we decide, can each of us eat a third of a pie?
How much is it?
Hell, yeah, we could eat a third of a pie. So then we would go in on a pie. I'll get you a price list. They're usually about, depending on the pie, if you get a real fancy schmancy one with chocolate shavings on top, it might be like $13, but fruit pies are usually around 10.
Do they sell
Pie by
pumpkin
myself.
pie?
I don't know. I'm repulsed by pumpkin pie, so I don't pay attention.
You don't like
I
that?
love
I would rather slam my nose in the door, sneeze, and blow the back of my head off than even smell a pumpkin
Would you
pie.
rather?
Like, I'm hoping it's not available, so it doesn't even come into this room.
Would you
I like key lime pie. I will go in with
Kick the
you.
wall or
Yes,
Same.
definitely.
Would you rather?
Guys, I like going with you.
I would eat, yeah, that's how bad it is. I would eat an avocado pie.
I'll go in key lime with
Matt,
you.
Can we get like a pie for
I'll get
ourselves?
apple too.
yeah, that's the other thing. If you think you can handle,
I think
Yes.
I'll take that 3.
if you want to strap on your big boy pants
Oh, yes.
and get a fork and go to town on a pie by yourself, as long as you want to pay for it, I don't care.
Okay.
Just make sure that when you throw up, you throw it in the garbage can, not in the room. Natalie,
Can we make a pie? And
if you,
like,
Well,
if you would rather make a pie, that's fine. If you would rather go to 7-Eleven and buy those ingredients, this is really important though, hold on. We'll talk about this more, because I gotta finish this lesson, but does anybody have any allergies?
I don't have an allergy, but I have something in there. It's like a dietary. I can only eat kosher things.
Well, that's okay, as long as if somebody's eating Reese's peanut butter pie, your face doesn't blow up in your throat because it hurts. It's not pretty fun, that's
we can eat at lunch.
good.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll deal with that later, let's move on.
That's the sound of that.
Christian, what do you got?
I got 106.81. So,
What's supposed to be
I'm
exact?
happy.
oh, 34 pie.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you get?
34 pie.
34 pie. Anybody not get 34 pie? Alright, tell us what you did, Christian.
So since LKP is a right triangle, I solved for LK and I got 34, and then I plugged that into the
8, 15, 17 triangle, or did you do 16 squared plus 30 squared equals KL squared?
16 squared plus 30 squared.
No problem. Carry on.
And then I plugged 34 into the circumference equation and got 34 pi.
So you used d pi in this case, or did you divide
Yeah,
34 and 2 to
I
get
used-
17 and then plug into 2 pi r, which then so you take 17 double again and get back to 34, which seems kind of sick, like, but sometimes people get rid of that formula when you use that one.
I used d pi.
D pi, beautiful.
I don't like that.
Faith, question.
Why do you have, like, how do you get that pie at the end?
You go to Baker's school, no, I'm just kidding. You plug into the formula and it's in the formula already, so that when you plug that 34 in for the diameter, you get diameter times pi, so the pi is sitting there.
I thought this was the circumference. He always said that when he gets it.
What are congruent circles and or?
All the time.
Colin, what makes 2 circles congruent?
They have the same circumference.
Same circumference.
Yeah.
Works for me. How is that different than the congruency statements or congruency definition we had for, let's say, a triangle?
exciting. What's that?
Because we define congruent triangles as same shape, same size. So what are you saying?
Same side.
Same circumference?
Yeah.
What about the shape?
Well, that's what it says.
Yeah, circles are circles, so the shape doesn't matter. Yes,
Can't you say like
well, you can say whatever you want, this is America. Except you can't threaten the president.
yeah?
You can't.
No.
No.
You can't what?
She get arrested.
Yeah, they let that happen too. You can just
Yeah,
like
it's a
threaten
federal law.
somebody the
Oh,
president
really?
and freedom
So
of
if I were to say that I
No,
go
don't.
Yeah,
No,
You
don't.
can't what?
We're recording. Okay. I don't want FBI sequester, or to, request a video so that they
you
can
just
monitor.
didn't watch
Why
this
would
kill
I
the
have
president.
investigated it?
Alright, what was your question?
Can't you say they're congruent if they have the same diameter too?
Sure. You could also say they're congruent if
Yeah, the same
They
radius.
have the same radius.
same radius. Which one do we want to go with?
Diameter.
All of the above.
All of the above.
If
Beautiful.
you look at them, it's almost like
Two circles are congruent if they have the same radius, diameter, or circumference.
Yeah.
No, they
Simple
don't.
for congruent.
Yeah, I don't see it at all.
Oh my god.
It's like the
I
squiggly
know
line
what
and then
those
two
two,
lines.
not
If
the
you
other
like
ones.
stare at one,
Can you
you
draw a
try
little
to
picture
the
of a
other one
dog?
start moving.
I'll draw a little
No,
picture of a dog.
No, it's Mr. You have to draw Mr. Reedy's brother getting attacked by me.
Is that close enough?
Look, that's exactly the symbol for congruent. Well done.
Thank you.
What are concentric circles?
I don't know.
It's a dog.
Let's break it down. What does the prefix CON mean, Emily?
With.
Yes, yes, together. What's centric mean? Good. So what would concentric circles be?
I was thinking cone, like Spanish. That's what I was thinking.
You're wrong, so.
No, actually I wasn't. I'm Hispanic. I'm really into El Paredon, guys. I'm like learning. Oh yeah.
What's that?
I don't know if
Same
that
center.
works,
Yeah.
No.
Guys, I like El
Circles that share the same center.
I like that one.
Thank you. I like that one.
Wait, what?
If two circles are congruent, can they also be concentric?
They don't have to be.
Wait, can you repeat that?
If two circles are congruent, can they be concentric?
If they're congruent, they're the same circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
can.
so
Yeah.
no, because it's the same
They
circle.
can.
It's the same
Yeah.
circle.
How would you know
Same
it's two
circles,
circles though? You
yes.
couldn't know it's
But
two
if,
circles.
but if they have the same
Yeah,
radius, then
different
they
colors.
have the
Like
same
the
center.
radius.
Center
No,
to
it
one
would blend and
plane.
make a different color.
You can't
Doing
be
it
away
with
from
class.
two right
I say
fingers,
something
two
random
different
really
Yes.
fast.
Okay, and how would you know
I'm
that?
gonna just
By
wait.
writing it down.
No, I don't, that doesn't work. It does. It's not the way the world
We're on
works.
a no too, so you're covered on
Do
all.
you guys know when Enrique Iglesias is 4
Well, there you
years
did.
old?
No, there's like pictures of him.
See, it does work that way. Two circles.
So funny.
But,
How many dimensions are we working in?
but you only drew one.
Two.
But
Two.
two circles.
So therefore, are you guys done with your little conversation up there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because somehow I don't think you're talking about concentric circles. And if you are, then why is Kira putting her fingers up on her head?
Her braid is like a circle.
Oh, is it? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. So we could use your braid to find the circumference of your melon. Anyways, we're working in 2 dimensions. So coming back to my question then, can two circles have be congruent and be concentric? The answer would be
No.
no, because you can't stack things on top of each other.
If you really want.
Okay, there's no stacking here.
You said sometimes.
If it was three-dimensional, you could.
Then it wouldn't be a
Circle.
circle. Oh my god.
Occasionally circles will overlap like we have here. And so when you connect these centers,
It's a Venn diagram.
wow, that was nerdalicious. I don't even have a response.
Stop.
Yes, it's a Venn diagram.
You look crackled.
Yes.
How long is x, y?
It's
And it's not 19, by the way.
Oh.
Six. 33.
Jalen?
Would it be 6?
No. Kara,
Is it 33?
why?
Because.
I don't remember, to be honest, I didn't do the math yet.
Okay, so I did because you know that XZ, because that's the diameter, is 22, and then WY, because that's the other diameter, is 16.
Whoa, hold on. How long's XZ?
XZ is 22.
How long is XZ?
Oh no, that's the radius, never mind. So then it would, so then that would be 11,
Okay.
and then
Oh.
WY would be 8, so then, oh, so that'd be 19, and then you subtract WZ from that, because that's the overlapping part, so then, would it be 14?
Is it 14?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's saying that the diameter of X is 22, so then if that whole,
You found the radius.
yeah, so then the radius would be 11, because that's half of the diameter. Yeah, so that would be 11, because the whole thing is 22, and then that little part, wait, what was it? That's, the whole thing is 16, so then half of that would be 8. And then WZ is 5.
And then you subtract it.
Yeah, so then you add those two together and then subtract 5, because that's the overlapping part.
Okay, so she took them all together
Mhm.
and said, wait, there's an overlapping part. I would have done it a little differently just because my brain works differently. I would have said that's 3, and then this is 6, and that this whole blue segment is then 6 plus 5 plus 3. 2 ways to solve the same problem, just a matter of how you see it. And that's 14. Good. Get rid of that, click over here. Oh, 14. We're done.